The purpose of life is to be selflessly kind, compassionate, loving, and respectful. The key to kindness is to be selfless, which means that you are kind not because of any selfish, self-centered, ulterior motives. No, you are kind not because you want or expect a reward in return. You are kind because that is who you are. You want to see the other being happy. You want to see the other being uplifted. You want to see the other being happy and succeeding in life. You want to see, you're kind solely for the benefit of the other being's highest good. And so by being loving towards others, you discover that you're surrounded by love and lovingness. When you unreservedly support life without expecting gain, life supports you in return. When you abandon gain as a motive, life responds with unexpected generosity. When you perceive in this way, the miraculous begins to appear in your life. Harmony manifests as the unexpected discovery, the fortuitous coincidence, and the lucky break. And finally, the realization occurs that these are the ripples coming back to you from the seat of consciousness. I'll be with you now. Okay. The question is, does spiritual work help the world? To endeavour to evolve spiritually is the greatest gift you can give. It actually uplifts all humankind from within because of the nature of power itself. Power radiates and is shared, whereas force is limited, self-defeating and evanescent. All society is subliminally and subtly influenced by every kind of loving thought, word, or deed. Every forgiveness is a benefit to everyone. The universe notes and records every action and returns it in kind. Every kindness is forever. So, in conclusion, the essence of this path of the spiritual seeker, the spiritual pupil in life, choose to be easygoing, benign, forgiving, compassionate, and unconditionally loving towards life in all its expressions, towards all living beings without exception, including oneself. Focus on unselfish, selfless service and the giving of love, compassion, kindness, consideration, and respect to all beings. Avoid negativity and the desire for worldliness and its greed for pleasure and possessions. Forego opinionation, the judgment of right versus wrong, the vanity of being right, and the trap of righteousness. Seek to understand rather than condemn. Venerate teachers of these basic principles and ignore all others. Apply these principles to one's view of oneself as well as others. Trust in the love, mercy, and infinite wisdom and compassion of divinity, which sees through all human error, limitation, and frailty. Avoid negative depictions of God, that is, jealous, angry, destructive, partial, favouring, vengeful, insecure, vulnerable, contractual, and so on, as an anthropomorphic error. Now, hence, that's the God of the Bible, the Christian God. That is not God. That's not the real source, creator, consciousness. When you look at the God of the Bible, he's jealous, he's wrathful, he's angry. That is all comes from human ego. That has all been made up by flawed, corrupt priests, flawed, corrupt men. That is not who God is. God is only love, unconditional love. Understand that condemnation and fear of judgment stem from the ego. Place faith and trust in the love of God, which is all forgiving, the love of source, creator consciousness. Realize that like the sun, the love of God, or the love of source, shines equally upon all. Be kind to everything and everyone. Be kind to all living beings, including oneself, all the time with no exception. Revere all of life and all its expressions, no matter what, even if one does not understand it. Presume no actual, reliable knowledge of anything at all. Ask God to reveal the meaning. Ask God to reveal the meaning. Intend to see the hidden beauty of all that exists. It then reveals itself. Forgive everything that is witnessed and experienced, no matter what. Remember, Christ, Buddha, and Krishna said that All error is due to ignorance. Socrates said people can choose to only what they want to believe, or only what they believe to be the good. Approach all life and all beings with humility and be willing to surrender all positionalities and mental, emotional arguments or gain. Be willing to forego all perceptions of gain, desire, or profit, and thereby be of selfless service to life in all its expressions and all living beings. Make one's life a living prayer by intention, alignment, humility, and surrender. True spiritual reality is actually a way of being in the world. By verification, confirm the levels of consciousness and spiritual truth of all teachers, teachings, spiritual groups, and literature one intends to be aligned with or a student of. Accept that by spiritual declaration, commitment and surrender, knowingness arises that provides support, information, and all that is needed for the entire journey. The most powerful tool that is in the province of the will is devotion. Thus, it is not just spiritual truth, but the degree of your devotion to it that empowers it to become transformative. It is the motive that establishes spiritual value. To dedicate your actions as a service of love to life and all beings is to sanctify them and transform them from self-seeking motives to unselfish gifts. Even the smallest task can be seen as serving the common good, and if viewed in that light, all endeavours become ennobled. Everyone has the opportunity to contribute to harmony and beauty by kindness to others, and thereby support the human spirit. That which is freely given to life flows back to us, because we are equally part of that life. Like ripples on the water, every gift returns to the giver. What we affirm in others, we actually affirm in ourselves. As you advance spiritually, it brings value to everyone. Because of the collective consciousness, every single person who improves helps elevate the level of consciousness of humankind. As that elevates, the incidents of war, suffering, ignorance, savaging, and disease diminish. When you advance yourself, you are helping everyone and everything. You're helping all living beings. You're helping the planet. Appreciate that every step forward benefits everyone. In a holographic universe, the achievements of every individual contribute to the advancement and well-being of the whole.